Welcome to part 28 of FIFA 17, The Journey. And today we're going to be doing training, football matches, more
And
training,
So the
And-
usual.
and cutscene.
Please tell me
Okay.
the story is actually gonna start going somewhere.
It will do in like the next
All right,
few
lads,
parts or
time
so.
to
How long did that take?
Better late than
28
never.
parts.
Again, here's a good idea, EA. Have a point. It makes it so much more interesting for the player.
Anyway, off we go. More training. Come on, Alex, run down that line.
Before the
Training,
boogie bank.
training.
Oh,
That
come on,
boogie bank
Dwibs.
catches.
Really? You can't stay in the lines?
Dwibs cannot run for a state. I guess he was drunk in that time.
He can.
No, I wasn't.
Alex, have you got the booze again?
I can imagine Dwibs in kindergarten. He's one of the kids who wouldn't care about painting inside the lines.
I was very paranoid about that.
Oh, and I hit the post.
Really, Dwibs?
What?
Are
Yeah,
you-
terrible.
F. Yes, F for fucking failure. You
I
deserve that
believe
F.
You were lying about the booze.
I'm not, I swear.
Right.
No one believes you.
Dwibs. This is FIFA. It is not that hard to simulate what is actually hard in real life in
But
these
look at
sports
the narrow
games.
gaps I gotta go through.
I don't
Narrow
know.
gap? Are you freaking kidding me?
Well, there are some narrow gaps that were so rare and spruce in between. Come on.
Yeah.
And oh, I scored that time.
You still did bad.
Hey, I got a D.
I award you no points, and may God have mercy on your soul.
Yeah, for dunce.
I'd rather be a dunce than a fake.
Yeah, even the coach is telling you no.
No, the coach is going no, as in no, he's nobody. He's telling him what to do.
Yeah, sure.
Speaking of ranks, hey Jova, what does the A rank in Sonic Lost World for the S stand for?
Hey!
English.
Oh, what?
No, Apple. Ha ha ha.
I don't get it.
Basically, there's an entire level in Lost World for the S dedicated about pushing apples into holes. I'm not even
Why?
kidding. Because dimps, that's why.
There's nothing in Lost World that indicates that there was a fruit theme that it was in colors, but not in Lost World.
Because dimps, that's why.
Guys, I'm gonna do it!
Fucking finally!
Yay! Got a B!
Yeah, but let's just keep that, please.
Alright, so what's next? Keep
Or,
possession. Use
unassault.
your ability to get from one side of the pitch to the other.
Alright.
Alright, just go in and out of these walls.
And you already failed. Dreams, I'm starting to thinking more and more that you were actually drunk or in
I
Call of
wasn't.
Sure you weren't.
You know, Dwibs, here in Portugal, we have a joke where, okay, to check if the driver is drunk, we force him to try to walk a straight line
Yeah.
without curving, like, and if he curves even a bit, he's drunk.
Oh. I don't know what I'm supposed to do here.
Well, I don't know, maybe getting good.
I did it.
Yeah, you got for a D. Jesus, Dibs.
I don't even know what I'm going
Just
on.
because your name begins with a D doesn't mean you have to get D's.
So basically, if if I were Jova, I'd be getting a J for janky.
Junkie, yeah.
If I was Shiwa, you'd be getting an S for
Superb. That's what it
yeah,
Of
superb.
course.
is.
What would I get if I were a P for Pedro?
I don't know.
Proud.
Sure, we'll go with that.
Yeah, proud. I'm proud of my accomplishments.
And you got probably a C. So yeah.
I gotta say, and at this point,
But
I'm
you
just gonna
couldn't retry anyway that one.
say, no, you can retry 3 times.
3 times, but you already used all of them. I saw that. I can count.
No, it's for individual ones, not both at the same time.
Congratulations. This training session was terrible.
Yes, Gaffer. Well, that was lame.
So what's
Moving
next?
on. Against Hull City.
Okay.
Now an
Why-
ex-Premier League side.
Why are we having their emblem with a tiger in it?
Because that's how Hull rolls.
Well, I guess, but usually there's a meaning behind choosing what the mascot of your team is, I guess. I mean, Swansea makes sense considering the name.
Yeah, Swan. And I'm guessing a cannon does have some connection to Arsenal.
But then again, I'm not really the person to speak on it, but for some reason that I still have to, you know, in deep, the AC Milan, the team of my city, for some reason, has for his mascot the fucking devil.
We're hoping to
I don't get it.
Well, Manchester United has that too.
So AC Milan is a satanic club?
Clearly, I guess so.
AC
And
Milan is a type
it's not even
propaganda.
good on the other side because the international team, the other guys with one with the blue and black stripes, have a serpent, a snake for their team mascot. Why? Also, lots of orange.
Well, that's one of Hull's team colours. Team.
Well, we've got a young talent before our eyes today, and everyone will be
Okay,
watching.
Hunter is
Alex
still
Hunter. What have you made of
being
him so far?
preferred.
Hunter is he's super Hunter.
His teammates will be looking to him again here.
I really want to see how we will incorporate every of these in season 2.
Hey, Dwibs,
Yeah.
what do you
We've got
think?
the
Do you
whole
think
City
in season
team here for
3
you.
we're going to have incredibly
The kind of players
god
that we expect,
awful
the kind of
green screen?
performances we expect from the individuals
Where
and how they
Alex
make
is
the formation work.
superposed right in the middle of a stadium?
Depends on the attitude of the players out there.
Oh God, as if
They've
one
got
goal
a
free
foothold
wasn't
in this
enough.
game. They can get a little bit more adventurous and push on.
Ugh.
Knows though. Yeah. Everyone is happy.
This is
Everyone loves
Swansea
each
City's
other.
team for you today. And a look at
I kind
the
of find
opposing side as
sad
well.
in
It's pretty
retrospective
similar,
when
Alan,
every
isn't it?
team starts
It
like
is, I
that,
hope we're
and
not
sometimes
in for
players
snore
start
fest
pretty much
here, when
killing
there's
each
not gonna
other
be many
with
chances
by
at
breaking
either
their
end.
legs and arguing.
Whether the crowd
So,
are
well,
excited
rough
about this
tackles
or
aren't
not, they don't
really
seem
our
to be
problem.
before this
Our
match
problem's
has kicked off.
diving.
Not a lot of noise in the
Well,
stadium.
my point is we don't. I mean, I get the meaning behind shaking hands before
And
the
he could
match,
get away here.
but if later
Here's
on you
Hunter.
start bickering like little children,
Hunter.
oh my fucking god!
Oh my goodness, really?
And that is why Hull got relegated.
Because Dwibs is a cheater?
They've just run away
No, because
from
they're
them,
rubbish.
and
I mean,
they're
look,
likely to do that
they're
in the
nowhere
match if
near
they
me.
keep playing like this.
Well,
Such
with
a
the
dangerous
amateur
side on the
difficulty,
counter-attack,
that's not
because
surprising.
they move the ball from back to front so quickly.
Also, what does Umbra specializes with?
And that has
I didn't
opened
know,
the scoring.
sorry.
1-0 here.
Okay.
So,
In comes the challenge.
I don't know. I mean, there
No, I
should
agree
be
with
something.
you, yeah.
There's no, but I mean, I get what's the
They've
meaning
got the
behind
ball in the
it.
middle of
It's
the pitch here.
a sign of trust, sign of
There's
training
the
trust. The
interception.
problem is sometimes this is broken later on. So I don't know. Maybe there should be something like in reverse. But I can't figure why. And honestly, again, my involvement with sport
Well,
is so
he's
little
got the
anyway
ball there
that
and
might
dealt
as well
with the
keep
danger,
things as they
really.
are now.
maybe.
Hunter.
All right. Place your bets. Do I score with this goal?
On to the attack now.
Well,
And
gee,
it's
I
Alex
want.
Hunter.
Well, if
Right,
you
he had a
did
real
something
go.
Well,
stupid
you
like
can't
that,
knock him.
obviously
He was in the
not.
right place at the right time. Just couldn't
I mean,
even I
provide
could
the finishing
tell.
touch.
Basically,
Hunter.
there was this comedy show in my country
Alex Hunter.
that can be said literally translate in "Never Say Goal,"
Past his marker.
which was basically replaying part of his match, seeing all these. It was kind of like what's the term? Well, one of those programs
Dennis
that
Davis.
uses clips from all around, like babies or animals, and we use sound effects to emphasize the comedy. But it's just with football or / soccer matches.
Oh,
And
it's
you
kind of
get-
like the own goals and gaps videos that me and
I guess. Basically, one of the common things you see players doing that kind of shit we did before, like throwing that ball like that and putting the sound effect of a fucking cannon launching. Because that's what
Funny enough, one of the
It's a promising
PS2
attack,
FIFA
this, with
games
Hunter
did
on the
that.
ball. Oh, he's through.
you could do that.
Yeah, you can.
Oh, great work
It's
by the
it's not a You can only do
It's like
that.
an Easter egg, I guess.
Yeah, it is.
It's only during a local multiplayer lobby mode, but you can turn on sounds. But basically, every time you do a slide tackle, it does a.
Great work by the goalkeeper. The ball is his.
And every time you
Make sure
shoot,
he's
it goes.
protected
Wow, EA actually having some kind of sense of humor with its sports.
You don't see that so often. Just gliding
well,
past
that
it
can. Well,
effortlessly.
I actually wonder what kind of sound
Well
effects that show
defended,
would
not
put
just
on the
getting
worst
across. He
miss
thought
ever.
quickly as
Basically,
well.
to give you guys a
Here's
context,
Hunter.
the worst miss ever in football history, as
Good
dictated
forward
by
play from
that show that me and
He's
Dwibs
threaded
watched,
the pass through
is
neatly.
literally what.
It's
Yeah,
not
and it's
far.
still the far the
Goalkeeper
worst miss I've
hands
seen.
on.
So I guess I gotta have to agree.
Like,
Where
how bad
literally.
is it?
Where there's literally it's a Dutch team that literally got to a point
Such a
where
hard worker
they have
for the
3
team.
players right in front of the goal who can score. The goalkeeper is nowhere to be seen. The goalkeeper is nowhere to be seen. And guess what happens? The player doesn't even kick. He just runs towards the goal. You know, that's easier even. And what happens? He trips into the other player and the goes flying over the goal.
Oh my
Deflected behind.
Yeah,
corner.
that nets you being expelled from the team instantly.
You should be very embarrassed.
And guess what? And what's sad, Shiroy? His reaction is literally getting angry at the other guy.
Of course.
Really?
You
I
are
guess
on
I-
my
Someone else's
way.
fault.
I guess we're being in the way. I don't know.
He was in a position to close
I
down
mean,
the space
the
quickly.
worst- I mean, the
Goes
worst thing
offside.
I've ever done is if I've run up to the ball, I was one of those people who try to kick it, but my foot would go over it, and I just end up falling on my ass. But yeah, that's still worse though.
Well, the most embarrassing thing that's happened to me, and it's not even for being bad. It was just
Kane.
I was the goalkeeper
Moving
for a
forward with some danger
for
to
a
the
school
this is how they love
match
to play on the
involving
break.
members of my class,
Shoots.
and I was the
Terrific stop.
goalkeeper. And I managed to save a couple of
Great
shots,
work
but one
by
of
the
them hit my
goalkeeper.
groin.
Great
Oh.
hands.
Unlucky.
Yeah,
That
needless to say,
can-
it hurts.
That can
I can
happen.
imagine.
They've got the ball back by that interception.
Well, at least
Now it's
kind of
with
recovered from
Hunter.
that. I mean,
They're on the
there
attack
was a
here.
time where I
Let's
actually
go.
was goalkeeper,
What
not
a
for
fine
school,
save.
but for one of the
It's a
places
corner.
I went used to play. And since the kids around there, everyone was into sport. They say, "Come on, Tio, don't be anti-social. Just join the team."
Great stop.
Whatever. So we put me on the goal mark there, and I started stretching because reflexes and shit. And for some reason, and I don't remember
Last
why I
half-time
did
at
that.
1-0.
In order to stretch, I actually grabbed the upper side, the metal bar of the
Encouraging for you,
goalkeeper.
Alan, from Alex Hunter.
But
Well, he
since I
played
wasn't
really well,
as
didn't
tall
he?
as I
He
am
got
now,
himself a goal,
I
put his
had
team
to
ahead.
jump
He'll
in
be
order to
pleased
get
with
it.
that
So I
first
grabbed
45 minutes.
it, and for some reason I slipped it and I landed on my back. I almost broke it.
Ouch.
Yeah. Thankfully it wasn't that a big of a deal.
Here we
I
go with
managed
the second
to
half.
get up and everything, but I got bruises all
Nimble
over
play
my
to get
back.
over the slide
So
tackle.
after all that, I've only
Yeah.
Oh,
It reminds me of a time I had one of my worst soccer accidents.
So after all that, I only managed to score 1 goal in that first half.
You know, it's
Wow,
one.
they-
From
they're
winning the
actually
ball.
trying to make the match difficult. Go ahead, Jova.
And the
You know, it's
goalkeeper
one thing to get
across to it.
kicked by a
back
ball
for
in the
another corner.
crotch. It's another thing
Check on the
when
corner
you're
count.
actually a defender. You got the ball going, and then one of the
Coming in now.
defenders
Got his
kicks
fist
so
to it.
high, slips on the ground, and then ended up spiking me in the crotch
Lot of
with their
defenders
cleats.
between them and the goal, but they still have the
Ah.
ball.
Ah,
Yeah, I
Flank's gone
can
up
see
against
that
Hunter.
happening.
It netted us a penalty, but god dang. Ugh.
did they
Well,
score?
was it worth it at least?
We won with that penalty, actually. We broke a tie.
Alright.
But it was worth it.
Hashtag worth it.
And yes, the school did go on
Hunter
special
trying to find a
mention
way
for
through.
that.
Yeah.
Well, like the time I was
Under
going
no
once
challenge
and I
by
was
the
wearing a
goalkeeper.
baseball cap, it was really sunny. I was picking up the ball from the back of the net, but the beak of the cap was caught in the part of the net, so I got up really
Substitution
quickly,
is imminent for
and it ended
Swansea
up
City.
pulling me backwards and falling over again.
Hey,
So
Weak
basically,
challenge.
everyone here has
Got his
some kind of
shot off now.
accident involving
Oh,
football,
great work by
soccer.
the keeper.
Fantastic.
The sport is evil.
Yes.
Yeah. Meanwhile,
Not me.
Holt's
Not me,
unfortunately.
Holt's goalkeeper is a freaking superhero in this
Sean
game.
Everyone except Pedro then.
Bernard.
I've only
Some
got
potential
one
in this
goal
move.
past him, and that was because all his teammates
Spotted
were
that well
asleep.
and intercepted. It was nicely
It
worked
didn't
at
happen
that
to me,
point.
Shirai, because
And it broke down.
I was
Now
one of the
they've got to
pale
try and
kids
regain
growing up.
possession.
Recess reference.
Hunter.
And
You
Do I
can do
finally
it.
Chance.
I did it! I finally
Yeah.
got another goal.
Took the chance nicely, and that really has given them much more of a basis for the rest of this match.
Basically,
Well,
basically
their
most of my
work
time
has
in
made this goal almost inevitable. They're
in grade
fine
school
battle
was
today.
spent playing on the Game Boy Color and trading Pokemon on gold and silver and shit
Hey,
like that.
same.
That's a good word, trading. It was almost impossible where I live because there were only a few kids who actually had a Game Boy. It was like the luxury to have. And no one, absolutely no one had that fucking Link.
Well, he's got on the score sheet, hasn't
So
he?
I did.
I was lucky.
did.
I was lucky, but I finally
I
did
did.
get one. But yeah, those were the days.
Oh, you think that's lucky? Guess what? Like, and remember, this was before Game Sharks were as common of a thing as they are now. Like,
after the tackle.
Uh,
I actually managed to meet someone in my school that actually had MU. I don't even know where he got it. Like, he never actually. I don't think he ever told me. If he did, I don't remember. And what we did is I used my own copy of Pokemon Gold and used the multiplying trick to multiply that Mew like 8 times or something to distribute Mews for everybody.
Wow.
Okay, do I score? Do I score?
Shots on
Yay!
here. Well, that's a fantastic
Congratulations, Dweeb. Oh,
Yes,
wait,
it's
it's a
goal
Chinese
from the
guy.
substitute. And he's quickly
Actually,
made his mark on proceedings
Ki-sun
here.
Young,
Well,
he's,
they've increased their
I
lead
think he's
here,
Korean.
and that
Korean?
Okay,
just wrapped up
Asian
the match.
ethnicity.
Yeah,
There you
the
go.
much better
Ki-sun
team
Young,
here
or
today,
Kissy.
and that scoreline reflects that. No hearty mouth time for the player that's hit it, but he's got his just reward.
Yeah, that sounds like a Korean name. to
Yeah,
me.
that is, yeah.
If it was a true Korean, he would have scored at least 10 goals in 10 minutes.
So there you go, Siri. To reward you for your liking of K-pop, your city's football club has a Korean player in it.
Holy fucking shit, man.
In fact,
Dude, chill out.
in fact, if I remember correctly, I think I still have that same Mew, both on my gold copy and on Pokemon Stadium 1 and 2.
Well, okay, but remember, Pedro, after a while, unless you change the batteries, the cartridges of Game Boy Color actually dies.
On it.
Oh yeah, I'm aware of that. It's just that, well, last I checked, mine was still fine.
Turning out to
I'll
be
have to
a
look it up.
comfortable game, this.
Looking
4-0.
forward to the gold and silver games
I
on.
never-
Robert
Yes.
Snodgrass.
Game Boy Color.
Time
Yeah,
ticking
me
on.
too. I started
but
with
I-
the advance.
No crystal, no
15
buy.
minutes to go.
Well, I did mine, so.
I started with the SP.
I believe, well, you got the luxury version, Shiro. I got the original model, so no
Yeah, the
retro
original.
illumination.
So yeah,
but
guys, this is-
Musaka having a fucking flashlight.
This is how you score a goal. Get as close to the keeper as you can, then pass it to one of your nearby teammates, and he just kicks a ball into the empty net.
That is if you're playing. That is if you're playing on amateur difficulty. Not that easy in the harder ones. Anyway,
Lorente.
If you're losing
Yeah.
count, it's 5-0.
Teo, that's the thing. Like I said, no crystal, no buy.
Yeah, but it would be
Timely
kind of for
challenge.
me too, because it's a shame. But I can imagine why they
Now
did.
he's
But
lost the ball.
No, actually, I can. Actually, I can't. I mean, yellow was released. Why not crystal?
Didn't they say it was something like because the original had a feature that was
Yeah,
that
they
could be
did.
implemented?
True, but I mean, if they can add Pokemon Bank to it, then they have the means to alter the ROM, so it
Jack
wouldn't
Cork.
be that much trouble to delete that feature.
Well, it's still, at least by the time of this recording, still a bit of a way to go. Maybe they can still change their
attacking
mind or
power in this
something.
situation.
Who knows?
So, we're nearing
Here's
the
Dyer
end,
with
and
the
I've
tackle,
made
and it's
up
a good
for
one, isn't it?
not scoring more than
Nathan
one goal in the
Dyer.
first half by scoring
we
4 in
get
this
it.
one.
You don't need to overkill the competition every time.
Not to mention, Pokemon Yellow had an option to take a picture of your
Now they've got
surfing
a chance
Pikachu at the end
in
of
this
every
part of the
surfing
pitch.
Pikachu minigame anyway.
Is it still implemented in the Virtual Console?
I don't. It probably is.
You need
The
to
problem-
get the surfing Pikachu. You needed to connect it to Pokemon Stadium, man. That don't think
Yeah.
you can do that.
The coding of it is probably still there because there's no real point in removing it. It's just unnecessary work. It's just that you cannot actually activate it because you know no stadium connection. Which would be so cool if they added a special version of a special virtual console versions of Pokemon Stadium 1 and 2 that are compatible with Pokemon Bank and by result compatible with the virtual console 3DS versions. That would be such a cool thing to do because back in my day, I was always using Pokemon Stadium 1 and 2 all the time. I played those games a shit ton back in the day because it was really fun to keep switching Pokemon between both consoles and doing various things with it because those games allowed for a lot of cool stuff back in the day. I'm still kind of bummed out of Pokemon Coliseum because it was such a downgrade compared to those.
So what a surprise! Dwibs destroyed the opponent once again. What's next?
A cutscene.
Oh,
That doesn't reflect in any way what the game went on, right?
It's another sponsorship deal.
Oh, that's
Okay.
nice.
So
Again,
what is gonna be about?
let me guess. You'll get new
Hi,
clothes.
Grandpa.
Credit card. Yeah.
Grandpa, you're in a closed space with in a home. You can't remove your hat. You know.
I guess we didn't make a
No.
model for him without it.
But what you see, Teo, he's the sad old man.
It reminds me kind of an old version of, you know, that guy from Mary Poppins. I forgot, Bert.
Bert,
So
yeah.
he needs a guardian here when he discusses contracts, or had that slipped your mind?
Jim, I'm not here to make him sign anything. Just show him. I would never do that.
Yeah.
Yeah, basically. Well, at least they recognise that Hunter's still 16, so he needs a relative
adult,
with him.
yeah.
Don't look so worried. This is good news.
Okay.
Ever seen yourself 30 feet tall, Alex?
What?
I'm talking about billboards. Adidas billboards more
Adidas.
specifically.
Ding!
Okay.
Shut up.
I'm serious. Adidas wants you in their new UK marketing
Weird that they
campaign.
know using the
Only pick a
capital
handful of
letter at
players
the
from the
beginning.
Premier
yeah.
League, and you're one of them. You've crossed over, Alex. The next step. If you're interested, you'll just
the
have
next
to
step,
take part
to
in
the
a
next
photo
step.
shoot. Day's work, max.
Photo shoot, I can do that. What do you think, Grandad?
I don't know. Never had anything like this in my day.
Back in my day.
Really, Grandpa, you're throwing us the we didn't have this in my day bomb, really?
I
Wow.
liked it.
They're pretty good at these
Argument
things.
from
They're
tradition.
just not to
Things
waste
have
their
always been done
valuable
like
time.
this, therefore they should always be done like this.
So they avoid. So you know, at first we thought they were
It's a
avoiding
nice
that cliche,
little
but
bit,
no,
Jim.
they were
Not
saving
Not just
it.
that, Pedro
It's
and Jova. It's
about the money.
it's
It's about
not just
what you
the
want
old
your
part. It's the
fans to
entire
think
conflict
about
of
you.
old
Your
versus young
legacy,
and tradition
about
versus
who
new
Alex
things.
Hunter
If the
is.
grandpa is just as
Take your
sturdy,
time
Alex
with this,
and the other guy
Read
are
it
just
over.
as the other opposite
Discuss
spectrum.
it
We're
with
like,
your
come on,
family
man.
and with an
You know,
eye for the long term.
I'm gonna be honest though.
I'll leave you to
Go ahead.
There's a little bit of a
You're a
thing
star
here
in the
regarding
making,
Cup
Alex.
Hunter's legacy and all that. Honestly,
Just be
I
sure
think
it's
it's
the
handled
star you
better
wanna
here
become.
than say Iron Man 2, for example.
Well,
That's not saying much.
It would be interesting
Yeah.
to see Whiplash interrupting a game and starting killing players, but well,
Basically, all the legacy stuff boiled down to in that film was just they said the word a few times.
Not just that, but I'll talk more about it when it's relevant. For now,
Gentlemen, what do
no,
you
no,
say?
it's even just that. Like one of my pet peeves in recent years, and I even brought this up to you the other day. Actually, is the whole argument from tradition thing that's been going on a lot in gaming nowadays. Like for example, like the most common one that I'm sure you're familiar with is of course this mentality. I still don't understand this mentality that some people still have. I know a lot of people don't, but there's still, of course, the people who refuse to play or accept any JRPG that doesn't have turn-based combat. Again, arguments from tradition. Things have been done this way in the past, therefore they must always be done like this. And I've never understood that mentality. Why can't we do different
I will
things?
never get along with those people.
Well, it's true. I see also a lot of the opposite spectrum. If a JRPG these days is not action, it's not worth playing.
No, I don't really. Okay.
But I disagree with that too. I mean.
Yeah, I mean,
or the stuff like, oh, turn-based, it's an old thing, so it should not be considered anymore.
To me,
regardless of stuff being old and new, it's just a different way to approach your game.
Yeah, I agree with that. Honestly, granted, maybe I don't know, go to the simplest as you do, but the worst I've heard is I don't particularly like turn-based combat because it's a bit I prefer to be more involved and always in control and stuff. But I've never seen anyone literally outright say never put it in turn-based combat because that's the devil or something like that. Like I've never, but I have heard people literally talk about how, you know, like for example, to give you an idea, I was reading an article on Ni no Kuni 2 just the other day after E3. And of course, one of the things about Ni no Kuni 2 is that it switches from the hybrid of turn-based in real time to full real time combat, right?
Yeah.
And of course, someone immediately went like, "Oh, yet another developer catering to Western markets by taking away turn-based combat." I'm glad we still have Atlas, who have kept things as they should instead of "quote unquote" progressing their. Or alternate theory. Level 5 wanted to try something different with the sequel, and that's why we got this combat system. How about that? Like, seriously, it's such a conspiracy theory with this shit.
Besides, I thought people didn't care about Ni no Kuni.
Well, to be fair, when I make my Dark Cloud jokes, I don't mean that literally everybody says that kind of thing.
Well, I guess, but the thing is, people bitches when it's convenient.
Yeah, it's just one of those. But I've really grown to hate the argument from tradition fallacy as of late. Honestly, I hate it at this point.
Well, at the end of the day, Pedro, much like with all of things, the truth is in the middle. You just have to analyze the product and think and realize what it's the best for it anyway.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes someone may be in the right, most of the time they probably in the wrong. Period.
All right, basically in this one, you're thrown into a bunch of different scenarios where you have to try and score.
Have fun. Poor Hunter. So
it's kind of like, to give you an idea, another one that I've seen was a woman complaining on YouTube how video games are satanic. And talk about, I remember back when I was a kid and it was the Atari 2600 and video games were so innocent because it was just little dots now. But now we have so much violence in games and shit.
Atari,
not saying more. Anyway, Dwibs, can you illuminate a bit about the sponsorship cutscene? Because if I see, you didn't even have a choice in the matter.
Well, then basically,
like they're scripted, they come after a certain time or something.
If you get up to a certain amount of followers on your Twitter, then you get those cutscenes.
And they serve, I guess, to net you a better reputation at the end.
Yeah, with the fans.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Wow, Dwibs, this is clearly not your day for training in general.
No, fortunately, I'm better on the pitch than I am in the training area.
Well, thank goodness.
But yeah, things could be better.
How even?
Well, hey, I came close.
Yeah, but that guy
in horseshoes.
You can't beat him, Dwibs.
What does that even mean?
That specific move, Dwibs, that reverse roll-up kick is extremely difficult to perform.
Yeah, what does that even mean anyway? Stuff only counts in horseshoes.
I have no idea.
Probably America's way of saying or something.
I don't know. Well, considering like half of the it's a funny thing. The only it's
terrible.
Most times I can still remember. I think actually never mind. Abort. I was just gonna say that the only time I remember someone other than Hugh Laurie doing a decent American accent was a Welsh guy.
Well, didn't Doctor Who had some segments where the Doctor had to talk not in a British way?
Quick, Dwibs, use fire tornado kick.
But this isn't in Zuma 11.
Sorry, Dwibs, you have to adapt.
But how can I?
After all, new situations.
Yeah.
What do you want me to do? Mod the game?
Yes.
Again, that will be interesting. That friend of mine who actually modded this copy of FIFA 98 was amazing.
Oh, I don't know how I scored from there, but I'll take it.
You can do it.
That reminds me, Dwibs, do you think FIFA 18 is gonna implement a video referee thing?
Well, the thing is, video referees aren't widespread enough yet.
Well, I know, but the Portuguese league has it now, so
That's one league though. I think they're gonna wait until A, they know exactly what it does in football, and B, when it gets widespread enough.
It's really sad to know that video referees are taking a while to get a hold, but fidget spinners became incredibly popular with people in short time. You know, it's like the stuff you need requires too much time to get used.
Yeah, and it has to be my country picking up the slack for the others.
Well,
someone has to do it.
Well, hey, you're the reigning European champions. You should set a good example.
Yeah, that's what we're doing, because God help it if Spain was gonna do it.
Wow, what would Spain do?
Oh, Spain are very lazy.
Shots fired.
Hashtag.
Well, actually, no, I kid. Like, they're one of the ones who are helping us out of the fire, so thanks, Spain.
Yeah, okay. Other than the, Alright, moving on. CC! Hey, it's that character of Code Geass, CC.
And now a black screen.
AKA one of the few characters from that show. I can actually
Hey, look, I can't help it if I think, alright?
Stop invading other people's games.
I don't even want to be here.
It's the power of Dick Clayton keeps bringing in people into other games for some reason.
Oh, Alan Shearer.
Alan, what are you doing?
What?
Anyway, next match is against another now former Premier League team, Middlesbrough. So see you then.
See ya.
All right then. See ya.